As y'all can see at the bottom of the screen, this video right here is going to be about social contracts. And I hope y'all doing good out there. Thank y'all for tuning in to another broadcast of Wisdom Seekers University. And it is me, the professor of this situation, Brother Wisdom, or whatever you want to call me. Just like that. But let's get into it. Social contracts, what is it? In moral and political philosophy, the social contract is a theory or model that originated during the Age of Enlightenment and usually concerns the legitimacy of the authority of the state over the individual. Okay? It concerns the legitimacy of the authority of the state over the individual. Social contract arguments typically present that individuals have consented either explicitly or tacitly to surrender some of their freedoms and submit to the authority of the ruler or the decision of a majority in exchange for protection of their remaining rights or maintenance of the social order. The relation between natural and legal rights is often a topic of social contract theory. The term takes its name from the social contract, French, du contrat, social, ou, principes, the droit, politique. A 1762 book by Jean-Jacques Rousseau that discussed this concept. Although the antecedents of the social contract theory are found in antiquity, in Greek and Stoic philosophy, and Roman and canon law, the heyday of the social contract was the mid-17th to early 19th century, when it emerged as the leading doctrine of political legitimacy. Okay, we booted out the way, that guy again. The starting point for most social contract theories is an examination of the human condition absent of any political order, termed the state of nature by Thomas Hobbes. In this condition, individuals' actions are bound only by their personal power and conscience. From this shared starting point, social contract theorists seek to demonstrate why rational individuals would voluntarily consent to give up their natural freedom to obtain the benefits of political order. Prominent 17th and 19th century theorists of social contract and natural rights include Hugo Grotius, 1625, Thomas Hobbes, 1651, Samuel von Pufendorf, 1673, John Locke, 1689, John, however you want to say it, Jacques Rousseau, 1762, and Immanuel Kant, 1797. Okay, so that's the line of people who push this, each approaching the concept of political authority differently. Grotius presented that, or this is basically presented that individual humans had natural rights. Thomas Hobbes famously said that in a state of nature, human life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. In the absence of political order and law, everyone would have unlimited natural freedoms, including the right to all things, and thus the freedom to plunder, rape, and murder. There would be an endless war of all against all. Bellum omnium contra omnes. To avoid this, free men contract with each other to establish political community, civil society, right? Through a social contract in which they all gain security in return for subjecting themselves to an absolute sovereign, one man or an assembly of men. Though the sovereign's edicts may well be arbitrary and tyrannical, Hobbes saw absolute government as the only alternative to the terrifying anarchy of a state of nature. Hobbes asserted that humans consent to abdicate their rights in favor of absolute authority of government, whether monarchical or parliamentary. Alternatively, Locke and Rousseau argued that we gain civil rights in return for accepting the obligation to respect and defend the rights of others, giving up some freedoms to do so. The central assertion that social contract theory approaches is that law and political order are not natural, but human creations. They were like, forget all that, but still, it ain't natural, still human creation. The social contract and political order it creates are simply the means towards an end, the benefit of the individuals involved, and legitimate only to the extent that they fulfill their part of the agreement. Hobbes argued that government is not a party to the original contract, and citizens are not obliged to submit to the government when it is too weak to act effectively to suppress factionalism and civil unrest. According to other social contract theories, when the government fails to secure their natural rights, Locke, or satisfy the best interests of society, called the general will by Rousseau, citizens can withdraw their obligation to obey or change the leadership through elections or other means, including, when necessary, violence. Well, I be damned, right? Because y'all know this doctrine of Rousseau is adopted into the Declaration of Independence. Locke believed that natural rights were inalienable, and therefore the rule of God superseded government authority. Understand that. While Rousseau believed that democracy, self-rule, was the best way to ensure welfare while maintaining individual freedom under the rule of law. The Lockean concept of the social contract was invoked in the United States Declaration of Independence. Social contract theories were eclipsed in the 19th century in favor of utilitarianism, how you say that, right? Hegelianism and Marxism. They were revived in the 20th century, notably in the form of a thought experiment. They were revived in the 20th century, notably in the form of a thought experiment by John Rawls. Right? They say the social contract theories were eclipsed in the 19th century in favor of utilitarianism, Hegelianism, and Marxism. These three reenacted. They were revived in the 20th century, 1900s, notably in the form of a thought experiment by John Rawls. Understand that now. So the people with the Marxism and all this type of stuff, they are implicating the core, the key element of the Declaration of Independence, which is the Lockean concept of the social contract, dealing with Rousseau and all the rest of the long list of other people that help contribute to the idea of it. And that's what we're under right now. Okay. So yeah, I'll go into the history of it and all that type of stuff. But that's the main idea. I just wanted to get into the social contract right quick and let y'all see what that was all about. And I think I knocked that out in an amped amount of time so you guys can get to what y'all want to do what y'all do. Yeah. Appreciate it. To the next one.